Hello everyone, you won't believe who's here with me today. I'm so excited. It's Berita in the house. Berita, thank you for being here. Just gonna go straight into it. So, what was your first memory of music?
So my first memory of music is when I was a child. I can't remember how old I was, but I used to love listening to the radio. And there used to be this top 40. So I grew up in Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
And in radio back in the day, you know, you would always hear African music.
Yeah.
You either hear Zimbabwean local music, like your Oliver Mtukudzi at the time, or you hear South African music. You hear like, and you hear classics. You hear Miriam Makeba, you hear Brenda Fassie.
Yeah.
But on Saturdays, they used to have this, you know, top 40. And that's when I would sit and listen. And I just enjoyed, you know, listening to the radio and music. And I didn't know why.
Okay. And then how did you fall into music? Do you have a musical background? Does your mom sing?
So I don't come from a musical background. That's why I think my journey, also even to me, I'm so grateful for the gift of music, because growing up, yes, I love music, listen to the radio, holidays, school holidays, there would be parties at home and we would just dance and listen to music. I also remember hearing country music, like your Dolly Parton when I was young. And that was just music was like, hey, you breathe, you hear it, you know?
Yeah.
And then in my teenage years, I got into the church choir.
Oh, okay.
But I was by no means the star of the church choir.
Oh.
I was just the girl that could, you know, just keep a note and enjoyed it. I wasn't really like, oh, Lisa, hello, wait. I was not at that level. I was just at the level of, I'm in the choir, I'm part of the youth.
Yeah.
And then we even recorded an album at the time. But like, it was just a very foreign process to me.
Yeah.
And then I moved to New Zealand, because as a family, we moved to New Zealand.
Okay.
My parents work there.
Okay.
And when we moved there, it's a very isolated environment because it's a farming country. So one house is here, the next one is there.
Yeah.
So I really had to now spend more time with myself, and that's when I started painting even.
Wow.
And then I started writing. I wrote a novel kind of thing. This is me at 16
Really?
thinking I could be a novelist.
Wow.
And then after that, I even sent it like to a publishing house and things like that. And they came back.
Wow.
Yeah, they came back with notes. I needed to expand and add more context.
Yeah.
And that's when I actually wrote my first song. I was like, actually, writing a song was like a shortcut. Because I'm like, this story, I can actually tell it with a song.
Wow.
Then from there, by then I was listening now to more like soulful music, your India Ari, your Corinne Bailey Ray, Thandiswa Mazwai, Lira, Zamajobe.
Wow.
That music is the music that really got me thinking, okay, I want to take this direction.
Okay, so then you started singing or you played guitar?
How
did you go from writing music in New Zealand on a farm somewhere to
You
I
like
for yourself?
So, I mean, this is like 2007, 2008.
Oh, a long time ago, yeah.
So at the time as well, even living on a farm, so that side you can actually work as a teenager and make a little bit of money.
Okay.
So I used to work in the farm, so they would like piece jobs, and then from there I bought a guitar, and then I started teaching myself how to play guitar.
Wow.
And
did you ever go and learn, or is everything self-taught?
Everything is self-taught, but over the years, if I meet a guitarist, I'm like, show me this, show me that. I think I've always had that self-starter mentality of, I'm a firstborn at home.
Oh,
Firstborn of 5. So anything that I...
Deputy parent.
You know? Yeah. But more like, so I've always been that person that's like, okay, let me try something new. Let me try something different. At school as well, I did well. I thought I was going to probably like go the more like accounting route or something like that. But when I started with music, I also was very shy about it. So it was one of those things where I've got my guitar now. Yeah. By then I'm listening a lot to like Sade.
Okay.
And I would try and Jill Scott. Yeah. And then I'll try and just like, you know, learn the chords. Or this song, if a song has like just simple chords, let me learn it. Yeah. Let me sing. But like it was just one of those things where I can't even coordinate. Like, I'll just play guitar a little bit and sing and play and sing.
Yeah.
But it was just, a hobby, I think, at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you went on to study music or what after?
So then I finished high school.
Okay.
I moved to South Africa to study. Why? So it was more of like I think at the time, immigration issue. It was one of those things where my parents at the time, there was just that complication.
Okay.
And then my parents said, you know what, go back. Maybe let's, get a school, either Zim or SA.
Yeah.
And then I got accepted into a university in the Eastern Cape, Walter Sisulu University.
Yeah.
And I left, and I remember I had bought myself a guitar with my farming money.
Yeah.
My dad was like, no, leave this guitar. I was like, Dad, I can leave anything else, but I am taking my guitar. So I arrived in the Eastern Cape. Okay. Never forget, I landed at the airport, and I got a taxi at the time, outside, like a cab, to take me to Rez. On my way to Rez, the guy says, actually, I see you've got a guitar. There's another lady at the school you're going to. She just left now. She moved to Joburg. She's gonna be big. Her name is Bulelo Spinach. Yeah. She has a guitar as well. That was Sahara.
No.
Yeah. So I went to now the same school that she had just I think graduated from at the time and moved to Joburg for her music career. Yeah.
Oh, that is a very interesting moment. Okay, so now you're in school, you're studying music.
So I'm studying financial information systems. So completely not related to music, more related to like accounting and IT. And I'm doing well at school, but then I joined the drama club. Okay. And with the drama club, we would always take initiative in the community. We're like, okay, let's go to this hospital and sing for people, or let's go to a taxi rank and sing. Yeah. So I was always the girl with the guitar. And then it's like, okay, on Thursdays we used to do what's called soul clap sessions. Okay. Let's go to soul clap sessions and sing. And at the time, soul clap sessions used to happen at night. Rez closes at 10. Okay. So I'm like, okay, now I'm taking a risk. How am I gonna come back? Where am I gonna sleep? Yeah. So whenever I get to places like that, I'll find a girl and I'll be like, hey, where do you stay? And they'll be like, no, I stay in the area. I'm like, can I please sleep at your house today? I don't advise what I was doing back then. My parents didn't even know I was doing such.
But at least we lived in the world where the girls that were around you were trustworthy.
Yeah, I thank God, there was safety. I look back at that time like, I'm so grateful.
So wild.
That is wild.
Okay, so when did you then start performing? While doing information systems?
Yes, so
on your own, not with the band.
So part of drama. Yeah. I think when I didn't even know that you get paid to be an artist or being a singer. No.
So it was just love.
It was just love for it. So this one time we get called to come and perform at Alice. That's where Forte is. We go to Alice and we get there. It's like a municipality event. It's a serious event, but we perform there like, oh, we've got these young people. At that time you're young. Because these young people, I perform. There's a song I'd written for my mom called Goshwile Mama. Yeah. I performed that song. And the mayor of Amatole breaks down into tears. Wow. She cries. She even changes her speech. She's like, this young person has touched me so much. At this young age, this song speaks volumes. Yeah. And then afterwards, she came to me and just was like, you're so talented. And she gave me some money. Yeah. She was with, officials, government officials. They all started giving me money. And then I later found out that actually, they had hired a company to book artists to come and perform. So they had been paid. There was someone that had been paid to bring us. Yeah. But obviously, because we didn't know we could get paid.
You just were doing it for free?
Just doing it for free. But from there, I think I came to visit my uncle Joburg. And he was like, Mchana, I see from time to time you just disappear with your guitar. Please play for me. And I was like, okay. And I played. He was like, okay, let me call someone. Then he called... he had a neighbor that worked at a radio station, Alex FM. Yeah. So he called the neighbor came and listened. Yeah. And then Data Flash, and then Data Flash was like, no, let me take you to Alex FM, let me get you a radio interview. Got my first radio interview, played at Alex FM, never forget it was like a Friday morning. And then people were calling, they're like, oh, and that was very encouraging. From there, he was like, actually, I know a record label. Let me take you there. Maybe they may be interested.
Yeah.
And then I got there and I sang for them, and they were like, we're signing, you come on Thursday and sign a deal with us. Yeah.
Wow. And that was the beginning.
Even then, I was like, I'm not sure about this thing.
Yeah.
They were like, no, and then this is school holidays. So
Yeah.
I start recording the music, and then I go back to school. I don't tell anyone that I've been signed. Like, continue, nothing has happened.
It's a normal day.
Like, it's a normal day. I think that's like end of 2011. 2012, the album comes out. When it comes out, nothing happens. Initially, nothing happens. They say, no, during school holidays, you come and promote your music. I come. Even when I come and promote, I'm like, so it was a record label that used to do a lot of gospel music, and also like very street gospel. So they would have different gospel groups, a cappella groups.
Yeah.
So they were like, okay, we're gonna promote your album. We went to different taxi ranks, all across Joburg, promoting the music.
Wow.
You know, with CDs. You know,
I remember those days.
Yeah, we were out there.
You get the box on the record label, and now you're trying to sell.
Now you're trying to sell it. Now you're trying to push. And I mean, I even remember them being frustrated with me, like, do something. And my music that time is Tandoloitu. So Tandoloitu is a ballad. So I'm just like, wow, you're pulling easy. Like, no, do something. Move your body. Like, do something. After that, that's when I think I went back to the Eastern Cape. I was like, I like that the music has come out, but I don't know. And then one day I'm in class, someone calls me, a friend of mine says, put your headphones on now. I had headphones. She's like, your song is playing on radio. Your song is playing on Metro FM.
Wow.
That's when Tandoloitu started playing on Metro. From there, by the summer, the song Tandoloitu used to play on Eddie Zonde's show every Sunday. And the song just started to grow. By the summer, I was doing another, I think, a gig, this was like now a proper company that was doing taxi rank activations. Yeah. And Oskido came. Other people, there were other celebrities, big celebrities, pushing this campaign. And I was roped in the last minute to say, oh no, there's a young girl in the community. Let's bring her in. Then they brought me in, and Oskido watched me perform. And then he was like, you know what, I'm done with my album, but I need to remix this song. Yeah. Because people were going crazy over the song. He remixed it, and now it's playing on Metro, and that's how my brand grew.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So there's an interesting thing though. Berita is not actually your name. How did that happen?
Yes. So after I recorded the album in Joburg, my producer at the time said, he was also the record label owner. He's like, Google it. If we say put this on the album, anyone can say and I love my name. Yes, by the way, I've got a new single. It's actually titled My Name. Yeah. So I went home. He was like, think of a name.
Your single is beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
And it's amazing that she wrote a song in your name. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So he was like, no, think of a name. Think of something, something that can sell albums.
Yeah.
Like, we need a name. You need to have a stage name. So I was thinking, and I looked up to Lira a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, Lirato. Her name is Lirato. But, Lira. I can say, okay, you need a name. I tried. Should I be led too? What do I do? Yeah. And then I was like, no, actually, my mom's name, Berita. I felt like that name is unique, and I also love my mom. Like I have a genuine strong relationship with her. I feel like she's really an anchor in my life, and I wanted to do something to honor her while she's still alive. So then I went with Berita.
Oh, that's amazing. I thought that is absolutely beautiful. It's almost like you're carrying your mom's spirit and your mom everywhere you go, even though your mom is just a flight away. That's amazing.
For sure. I think for me, it's like there are women that have paved the way.
Yeah.
My grandma is also a matriarch in my life. Yeah. My company is actually Asali Music.
Yeah.
And my grandma's name is Asa. And my grandma from my dad's side is Lillian. So I put that together, Asali. Mm-hmm. So I think, I hold that dearly.
That's amazing. And what is this company about that you just mentioned?
Yes.
What do you do?
So the core thing is really the management of my brand and my music. So I do own like most of my masters. I was able to buy back. Initially, I was signed with the record label.
Yeah.
Then, over the years, I've had my journey in the music industry where that quickly didn't work. And it just was, when I looked at it, I was like, how am I actually going to make this sustainable?
Yeah.
And then I signed again with another record label. After that deal, I was like, this actually makes sense if I own the music.
Yeah.
So I was fortunate enough to, with my last album, I produced it and paid for it and own it.
Yeah.
And then I was able to buy back the
You
one
need to host a master class about that whole process.
Yeah.
It's a learning that I think all of us in the industry just need to learn more about owning your intellectual property, what that means, and just taking yourself seriously.
I think it's more of when you want to do this long term.
Yes.
When you first start as an artist, especially, coming from the background, I came from a fairly privileged background. Someone would look at me and say, your parents live overseas. I come from a fairly middle class family, but there's no one who understands the music business in my family.
Yes.
And also, like, it was something new. It was just something where it's like, we don't know how to navigate this. We don't know how to help you. I would argue my family is more helpful now because they've seen it work, and now they're like, okay, what do you need? How do we? Even then, like, it's my baby.
Yeah.
And I look at it and I say, okay, I want my children and my children's children. I don't have any yet, by the way. But like, I want them to profit off Thandolwethu. And now they can because I own it. There are times where, like, especially I think 2-3 years ago, I went through a really difficult time where I had to take time away from even performing and singing. But the reason why I continue to still be sustainable is because even when I don't sing, the music still makes, profit. It still makes money. And that is only possible if you own. And I think what's also important is not just ownership, but it's also stewardship. When you own, you also have to make sure the documentation of the music is right. You always have to make sure you are learning more as to how best you can monetize the music.
And I can imagine now with things changing so much, there's more digital platforms and putting music on those platforms and understanding how does that work, what does that mean, how do I get paid for this, how do I get onto this.
Exactly. And also thinking, like, I'm like, okay, Gooks. I call myself Gooks. I'm like, okay, you are 34 now. One day you're going to be 50. What does 50 look like for you? Someone who works a 9 to 5, from day one, there's a retirement fund for them. So I have to think about those things myself and take that responsibility. It's taken me a long time to do it. I operate as separate entities. There's literally Gugu and there's Berita. And that's something that I've had to just work on.
Wow, I really think you should host a masterclass. And then, I love that you're talking about owning your stuff and intellectual property. I am dealing with a deceased estate, but before I get there, how did you meet my grandma? How did that happen?
Yes. So I met Mom Dorothy Masuka. That was 2016, 2017.
Okay.
Yes.
Feels like a lifetime ago, hey?
It does. It does. And sure, what a talent. What a generational talent. I think when I met her, she was in her 80s, 70s. Still so fresh.
Exactly.
Still so full of life. And also the voice. One thing about us vocalists that we worry about a lot is, how will my voice age as I age, We think about those things. But Mom Dorothy's voice was still as crisp and it was like in her 80s, it was just, what a voice and just what a talent. And I was just so honored to have that moment, have that encounter with her.
And where did you meet? Was it a show?
Yes, it was the Orbit. So there was a place in Braamfontein called the Orbit.
Yes.
It was a jazz.
Was fantastic.
Yes, it was a jazz club. She was doing a show. And I believe that she invited 2 young people on stage, and I was one of the young people.
Oh, wow.
She invited me to perform Thandolwethu, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow, that was a long time ago. And then I remember meeting you somewhere. I think I was at the Orbit as well. I was sitting, there was a backstagey kind of room that they kept us in. But I think our encounter was more like, I'm taking care of Gogo, he's Berita, she's a musician. And then I think the second time that I met you officially, we were talking was at a radio station when Grandma was getting an interview. How did you even end up at the radio station?
Yeah, so I think for me, the recollection I have is actually in East London when she came for a show.
Oh.
As well. I remember us meeting. We've met
a couple of times.
And even there again, just watching her perform and just watching how on stage she just had this fire. I mean, also her music, you know, when you see that her music has been able to transcend generations.
Yeah.
I do believe that her story is so important,
yeah.
not just for South African music, but for African music.
Yeah.
Because we look now, we see artists that are going on the billboards and we, you know, doing all these things internationally. I don't think Omama, you know, had that opportunity that we now have to carry it forward.
Yeah. As someone who always thinks legacy, long term, obviously you own your own masters, which is a rare thing in our industry.
Yeah.
How do we preserve legacies like my grandma's legacies? How would you as a musician like us to carry the story or carry this legacy? What kind of things are important to preserve what you guys do?
I think what's important is there is the support element, but also there is the responsibility to tell the stories. So when you called me and you said, I'm doing this for grandma, I was like, Laika, say no more, I am there.
Yeah.
Because I think if you don't tell your own story, who's gonna tell it?
Yeah.
Who? Like, you know, that's important to continue. For me, I think being in your position, what's important is to really, you know, the documentary. We want to see documentary from Dorothy Masuka.
Yeah.
Every year preserve the special moments, like
birthdays,
your birthdays, when songs came out, you know, that history we want to see. We want to see, you know, an annual concert tributing Dorothy Masuka, telling her story.
Yeah.
We want to see, you know, that continuous repackaging of music, even if it's to like do and executive produce a project where you have young artists that are covering her songs, and also that education aspect. You know, I'm very big. My dad actually called me the one day because I did a podcast where I was talking. I was like, you know, someone tried to erase my legacy, and my dad called me and said, "Hi, ngikuzwile." I'm a very shy person.
Yeah.
I'm someone who likes to not be out there talking.
Yeah.
But if anything, the last couple of years have taught me that you have to be able to tell your story.
Yeah.
Your perspective is important.
Yeah.
And also now that I'm also doing my MBA, one thing that I've really had to learn is you have to defend. You know, you don't just tell. You defend. You defend what you believe in. You defend your perspective, because if you don't, someone else will only know, you know, what is out there. So be part of that and be a leader in that.
Okay. Control the narrative to some extent.
Yeah, and I think it requires just a strategic calendar every year of knowing that these moments, these are the things that we're doing to always be preserving her legacy, and you have my support.
Of course, I'm so glad. But I mean, you're a dynamic young woman because you're only 34 years old. And you've done so many things, like for a 34-year-old. As a woman in the industry, how do we, you know, there are lots of things. Your industry is a very sensitive one.
Yeah.
Everything's sensitive. The relationships are sensitive. We all know how to be professional with each other, but maintaining long-term relationships is it's far and few between. You know, you have to select who you let in and who whatever. Your life is very private. You know, someone wants to be your friend to sell a newspaper, while someone else wants to be your friend to network, whatever. So how do you, one, remain innovative? You have the album with Tanya Ritu, you've got Kukuletu, you've got all of these things going. How do you continue to just be innovative while you're studying, doing your masters? How did you remain relevant? How did you continue to be innovative without really changing and losing yourself? How did you not try and be an international New Zealand babe? How you like?
How do I keep?
Yeah.
I think for me, what's been important is that separation of who Berita is and who Gugu is. I've always said that Berita is not the Sasha Fierce of Gugu, in the sense that I switch into Berita, then I'm Gugu.
Yeah.
More of Gugu is the keeper of Berita. So for me, it's always been a thing of, if Gugule to me as a person, I am well. If I am in a good space, if I take care of myself, then it's easier to take care of the brand Berita.
Yeah.
So I'll use an example, this thing of relevance, where someone will say, girl, push, be everywhere.
Yeah.
For me, physically, I cannot be everywhere. And now, I believe more in quality than quantity. So I'd rather do one thing a month for my brand and do it really well, and next month do something else and have that consistency of quality, than I am saying yes to every. I actually say no a lot. Just to protect my space and to protect my time and to protect my energy, so that the things that I pour my energy into, sometimes it actually upsets people.
Yeah. We see a poster, Berita is in Midrand, Berita is in Stanton, Berita is in Randburg, Berita.
Yeah, it's like, but why are you, why? Even if someone asks me to do something, I'm like, tell me more. I interrogate, I ask questions, and then someone's like, but why are you asking me questions and then saying no? Yeah. It's because me asking you questions is because I really genuinely, whatever I do, I pour my heart into. Okay. And since realizing that, I've then realized that I have to set boundaries. I have to take care. I'm in therapy. I think if you're in this industry, it's very important to have a safe space where you can really work through your emotions, work through any challenges that you face without internalizing them. Yeah. So I've done those kind of, and then even going to school was a good decision. It was a decision of saying, okay, I can see where the industry is going. It's about likes and followers. Mm-hmm. I still want to be able to be worthy. I still want to be able to make money, whether people have liked my picture or not. And that, then I went and asked myself, when was the last time that I felt like I was going in the direction that makes Google comfortable? I was like, actually, when I was studying. So actually, let me study. But now, because I'm studying, it also helps Berita, because now I'm able to say, oh, let me think about this differently, because now I'm learning actually how to run a business. I've run an NGO before for women in the music industry. Now I can go back to that project and say, actually, now I know how to do this thing, and I've actually gathered the networks that can help me. But if I don't look at that and I just say, Berita needs to go, and neglect the fact that there's Google before there's Berita. That's something for me that has helped, and that's what I tell a lot of young people as well.
I mean, I love the NGO idea. I think it's necessary. I think it's necessary because when I lost my grandma, there's just so many things that you need. And there's so many things that you learn. Wow. There are also so many things that are happening at the same time, because you as Berita are not my property. You are public property. Do you know what I mean? And it's not just me. It's me, your family, your fans. So it's not as easy as, just my daughter, I'll do what I want. Because there's someone whose life you've touched, that you touch every day, that people are still yet to experience through music. So when I was going through that, it was difficult. Because yes, it's my grandma, but you are in the roots, but she had branches. And so, those branches need to be tended. And I feel like I was not well informed about your industry. I was not well informed about intellectual property. I'm learning even till today. All of these things that I'm reading, and I'm like, oh, okay. And also you do so much work as an artist that some of us will never even know. Like, you go to countries, you record songs, you perform, you do things that only come out later on. When people are doing research, Berita's performed in Dubai. She has, oh, Berita's, because you do so much work. So I love the idea of the NGO, and I think it's really, really necessary, not just for the artist or the musician, but the family of the musician, the support.
Oh, I never thought about it from that
we all
perspective.
need that information.
Yeah.
You know, when you say I own my masters, I understand what that means because I've been exposed to it.
Yeah.
You know, somebody else does. What do you mean? What are your masters? How does that happen? So if you own them, what does that mean? You know what I mean? So I think those conversations are very, very necessary. And one of the ways that one of the ways we can preserve this culture, preserve this legacy, by educating the women in the industry, educating the families, the carers, the support. Because when you go out and, like you were saying, when you were younger, going out and can't come back to raise, luckily you were by yourself. Most of the musicians do that with families. So the daughter doesn't know if mommy is coming back. At that time, there were no taxis. You know, my grandma would travel extensively, and I wouldn't know when she's coming back, if she's coming back. All of that. So I think an NGO is one of the ways that we can have the conversations and dialogue and panels and educate people on what you do, how to protect your intellectual property, what that means. Now, as Berita, there's obviously so many young people that are out there thinking being a musician is just a stroke of luck. You know, I can go to some show, sing, and then I'm gonna make it big. And when you release an album, you're instantly rich. And then, if you were to tell your younger self, the younger Berita, something you wish you knew, something that would have made your life easier, different, better?
I wish I'd known earlier on that it's a privilege to do this type of work. Don't get me wrong. There are many people that can sing. Singing, like the ability to just sing, there are many.
Yeah.
But to actually be chosen to be an artist, there's a distinction there. You can be a singer, which is also in its own a craft.
Yeah.
But being an artist comes with a whole responsibility.
Yeah.
Because you don't, like right now, I don't just do anything.
Okay.
Everything that comes before me, I have to vet it and say, does it fit within my value set? Because an artist, you come with a value set, you come with a responsibility. And I didn't know whether like my music was going to have the impact it's had. Okay. And there's still spaces that I walk in and people necessarily don't know my music or they don't know who I am. And it took me a long time to carry myself in a way that says I'm a queen, because this type of work that I do actually is it's really a gift. It really is to be carried with pride and protected.
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a gift. What's the song in the
Key of Love?
That album, I think it's like a broken record now on my playlist.
Thank you.
I really, really love it. After I went to your listening session, I was just like, this is an amazing body of work.
Thank you.
So much into it.
Yeah.
And there's like different elements in this, dance in the rain.
Yes.
Like I just loved the album completely, and I'm looking forward to all of your other work. I'm looking forward to Google. I think it's already doing big things. Yeah. Now, did you have an opportunity to perform with my grandma?
Did we perform together?
Or share a stage somewhere?
We did share in terms of the orbit.
The orbit, well,
yes.
That
was the opportunity, but we didn't unfortunately get the time to share. And even when grandma passed, your grandma, like from my side, I must apologize because at the time I don't remember being able to know how to assist.
Yeah.
Or how to be there.
Yeah.
I think I was still quite younger.
Yeah, that's true.
At the time. But I'm grateful to have had that opportunity to meet her. Yeah. And recently I performed at my Zimbabwe and Africa concert.
Yes.
And I was asked to tribute to Dorothy Masuka and Miriam.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, when I performed their songs, it felt like they were in the room.
Wow.
It really felt special. I actually even have pictures where I'm performing and you can see them on the stage.
Oh wow.
In the back. I'll share some of those pictures with you.
Yes. Yeah, those are beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you for this. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for being the kind of woman who thinks legacy long term, empowering other people. And I do think you should have a masterclass. I'm not just saying that.
It's coming.
And thank you for being a whole rounded artist, where you're doing your master's. Did you graduate? How come let's not talk about it?
No, I am doing my MBA, so I did graduate for the advanced diploma.
Okay.
Right now I'm about to finish postgrad. So yeah, graduating again next year. We will keep graduating. Until we get to Dr. Berita. So next year is going to be the postgrad, and then my master's is starting now already. I'm already in the program, but officially it becomes the master's program now in November.
How are you doing all of it?
Sure, it's a lot, but I'm learning,
Okay.
I'm learning, I'm growing, and yeah, I'm excited. Like even now, this conversation we're having is exciting for me. I've got, even right now, my brain is, I'm thinking, I'm like...
Tell me, let's do it. Let's do it. I think we should. Thank you so much for taking time.
Thank you.